everybody, it's Singing Summer 173 here, and welcome to my channel, or back to my channel if you've been here before. And today we're doing a speed build for my Halloween special, Forgotten Angels. And this build's also used in my Let's Play, my Vampires Let's Play. And one of the main characters, well, he's about to become a main character, spoiler alert, now lives here. And well, he's always lived here. And at the end of this video, there is a short story explaining how we came to live here, and a little bit about kind of my theory of Forgotten Hollows as well, or Forgotten Hollow as it's called, not Forgotten Hollows. And actually, on that subject, if you watch my last speed build, I did a renovation of the old salt house in San Myshuno, and I turned it into a nightclub. But what I did throughout the whole video, and on the thumbnail, and on the title, and like everything I posted on Twitter about it, was call it the old saltwater house. I know it's not really a big deal, but it really annoyed me. I was like, because I was so proud, I was really enjoying the build, and I was like, I thought it looked really good. And then I went and ruined it by calling it saltwater house. But whatever, moving on from that, like not just in this part of the video, but in my life. Just have to forget about it and move on. But yeah, if you haven't watched that, check it out. But yeah, so this house it's like a kind of Victorian mansion, or it's not really a full mansion. It's like a Victorian house, and it's a kind of grand house. It's quite a big house, but it did belong to a wealthy family. And I don't know if I already mentioned this, but the house didn't always look like this. This is what's happened to it in the last few years, or 100 years. Oh, there's my dog shaking. The last 100 years, this is kind of how it's turned out to be. And you'll find out more about that if you stick out to the end of the video, where I kind of give the explanation. And now my dog wants to come and get a cuddle. Right? No, not just now, Lilo. In a wee second. No, don't sniff my mic. Lie down. Good girl. She's up on the bed and she's like wanting kisses and cuddles and everything. I gave her such a fright because I was sitting in silence for ages, just editing the video and stuff, and then all of a sudden I started doing the recording and just kind of like burst into speaking quite loudly, and she was actually asleep, so she jumped out her skin, and so we shame. But yeah, so this is my kind of spooky build that is coming up for Halloween as well. So yeah, as I say, so it wasn't originally built like this. If you use your imagination, it was a lovely family home, and then it's turned to a dark, horrible, creepy place in Forgotten Hollow. So, but yeah, I've been really enjoying watching all the spooky builds and having a wee look at them all on the gallery as well. It's really good. But sadly enough, I'm not actually doing anything fun for Halloween. If you've watched any of my other videos, you'll know that I have kids. And so for Halloween, I basically just take them out trick-or-treating. I don't dress up or anything, but they are. My twins are both going as cats, because they both want to be cats. They wanted to go as Unikitty from Lego Movie, but they're boys, and I couldn't find a costume that wasn't like a leotard and a tutu, which I don't really have a problem with, because if that's what they want to dress as, that's what they want to dress as. But I was thinking more of the cold. I thought it'd be really cool to go out and trick-or-treat with that on, especially in Scotland, where it's freezing all the time anyway, never mind at the end of October. It's like cold in summer, never mind autumn or fall if you're in America. I don't know why I said it like that, but there you go. But yeah, and my dog is going as a lion, because she's like kind of tan coloured, and I don't know if you've seen the advert for Amazon Prime, and the dog gets like a lion mane, and as soon as I saw that, I was just like, oh, that is what Lilo's going as for Halloween, because she always comes out trick-or-treating with us too. She's actually like lying all over my keyboard right now like a cat. But yeah, that's what she's doing right now. She's not even a small dog, she's like medium size, and she's like lying up on here like a cat. But yeah, FYI, I am recording in bed. I'm so lazy. I'm lying in bed with my laptop doing this recording, and she is all over it. So please stop, Lilo. Oh, she just knocked, oh my gosh, she just knocked the mic off. I'm so sorry, because that was probably really loud. Right, stop it, dog. But yeah, So I will get into the speed build shortly, but yeah, not the speed build. This is the speed build. Duh. I will get into the short story shortly. Right, Lilo, over there, please. But I just wanted to kind of give you a little bit of information about this build, and also want to ask everybody, what are you all going as for Halloween? I'm kind of like a bit jealous. It's been so long since I've dressed up for Halloween. In fact, I think the last time was probably like 7 years ago, and that's really sad. And I went as a gothic fairy because I had all the stuff there anyway, and that was just an easy option for me because I used to dress like that every day anyway. And one year I was going to go as Poison Ivy, and I made all the costume and everything, and like it was like a corset with these like green tights, and at the time I had like my full hair was red. Right now it's just like ombre red, but I had like full red hair and all the makeup and everything. And then the party that I was supposed to be going to got cancelled, and oh, bye Lilo, and so yeah, that was a waste of time, money, and life basically because I've put in so much time on it. But yeah, so let me know what you're all going as for Halloween. I'd love to hear. Oh yeah, and I never said as well, my other son, my older son, he is going as a ninja. And today we had a Halloween party at one of his friends' house, and he was like being so awkward about it. I'd gotten this costume and he wanted to be like all fully in black, but I couldn't find a costume that was all in black. All of them had like little white bits or silver bits or black bits on it, or sorry, red bits on it. And apparently that wasn't good enough. So what he wanted to do was, now when you buy a costume like out of a costume shop, and it's like you get like the kind of, I don't even know the material, that kind of shiny material, and it's like the top and bottoms is that, and it's kind of loose and baggy. Well, he just wanted just to wear that without like the chest piece and the ankle cuffs and wrist cuffs, and that's all he wanted to wear. And I was like, well, and that with like, oh, excuse me, I just hiccuped. That with like a little dagger thing, and I was like, well, you don't actually look like a ninja. You just look like a monk, like Friar Tuck. And he was like, I don't want to wear it. I don't want to wear it. I want to be all black. I told my friends I was going to be all black. And I was like, well, that's great, but that doesn't really fly when you're going to go to a party and look like a pure doofus. And then I was trying to tell him that when I was a wee girl, like, my mum used to get me things. Oh, Lilo, seriously, I'm trying to record, dude. Yeah, I used to, my mum used, no, not my mum used to get me things. I used to choose outfits, and they were horrible, like did not match or anything, and my mum would be like, why don't you try something else that maybe doesn't go very well or anything, and I'd be like, no mum, I'm wearing this, I can choose my own clothes, blah de blah de blah. And then I was like totally thinking I was rocking the party, dressed the way I was dressed. And then I'd go and get pictures taken, all the kind of things that you do. And then years later, you'd look back in the pictures and I'd be like, Mum, why did you let me wear that? Why did you buy me that? And she'd go nuts. She'd be like, I told you to change about 100 times. You wouldn't listen to me. You were so headstrong. You would never listen to anyone. And then I live to regret it. So I'm trying to save my son of those embarrassing pictures when he's a teenager looking back and saying, why did I wear that? Why didn't you stop me? Because it's not my choice. I told him not to, but for once he actually listened, and he put the chest piece on and it looked really good, and he had a great time, and he didn't look like a monk with a dagger, which is not really a good look, I don't think, unless that's a look you're going for, I suppose, like a crazy evil murdering monk. Which was that not like in something I just watched the other day? Oh, it was the A-Team. I was like sitting in my mum's house and it was on in the background, and I wasn't really following the storyline, but what I did see, there was like these people, I don't know if they were actual monks or if they were just disguised as monks, because you would never suspect a monk was the bad guy, would you? But that was the kind of, that's what I saw from the A-Team. Yeah. So I am going to go into a little bit about what I'm building right now. So this is basically the ground floor, and this house, spoiler alert, does belong to a vampire. So the kitchen obviously doesn't get used, and the bedrooms don't get used, so they're all covered in like cobwebs and things like that. They're totally like overgrown with cobwebs, if that's how you would say it. Because they don't get used. He does drink plasma, so and he drinks plasma straight from a sim, so he doesn't really need any kind of preparation area. Oh, there's my phone going off, or anywhere to sleep. No, he doesn't need a place to sleep. He sleeps in a coffin. But yeah, so I thought it'd be a nice touch to add all the cobwebs in and to make it really look abandoned. And in this story, what's going to happen for my Let's Play? Well, what's happened so far is Henrietta, the main character, has just become a vampire, and she's went to visit this sim after Vlad has suggested she visits him, because she has this plan of revenge that she needs to fulfill, and Jonathan seems to be the main man to help her with that. So she's came over here to visit, and they've actually kind of hit it off. They realised they were very attracted to each other, and so Jonathan, because of his newfound attraction to Henrietta, is going to help her out with her revenge plan. So that part is coming up on Wednesday, so keep an eye out for that. And I've been starting doing like little machinimas, and I'm going to do a wee machinima for that on that episode as well. I did a short one for last week's episode, which I will link at the end of this video and in the description below. So I'll probably just link the playlist so you can watch it from the beginning. We're only like 3 parts in right now, so it's easy to catch up on. Pure shameless self promo there. But a girl's got to do what a girl's got to do. Got to get some interest in this beautiful Let's Play. But yeah, so that is what's been going on in the Let's Play. So if you have been watching it, you will have had a sneak peek and a kind of what's the word, hint to what the storyline behind this build is. But I have tried to use kind of mostly the vampires pack stuff when I was building it. Mostly because it has been built for the vampires Let's Play, so I did want to use as much of it as I could. Because as I've mentioned 100 times in my vampires, in my Let's Play, I haven't really kind of played with vampires before. Although I've had the pack from the beginning, I've never really played from the beginning, from when it came out. God, I am just a mess today. But because I've had it since it came out, I've never really played with it because I'm not really usually into the supernatural things. But I decided it'd be fun to play and do a Let's Play on it, because it'd be like me experiencing it from the first time as well. So yeah, that's what I did. And so I put all the builds, all the kind of furnishings and things, I did try to keep it to the vampires pack, just to kind of go with that theme. Obviously I have used other things as well, but I've tried my best to kind of use most of the vampire stuff and keep it all kind of Victorian, because Jonathan is very, very old. He's at least, from what we know, at least 100, in maybe 120 at the very least, because he has been here for 100 years. So I think I'll just start the story now and let you hear a little bit about the background of this house. And I think maybe as well in the future, if it gets a good response, I might actually do a little machinima of the background, because I think it's a really interesting story and I'd love to explore it more. So I think a wee machinima would be quite fun to do as well. So yep guys, I hope you enjoy it, and please let me know, as it's my first time kind of sharing a short story about The Sims. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it guys. See you soon. So this is the story of Forgotten Angels. Back in 1890, the house resided in a small village in Simtopia called New Hollow. A lovely rural area where families could nourish and grow. Everybody knew all of their neighbours and community events were frequent. The village was thriving and was fast becoming an area for wealthy and influential families to settle. There was a large hill at the top of the village where the founders built a beautiful, majestic mansion. The founders were in their later years and only had one daughter, who was engaged to be married to an older man from a wealthy family overseas. No one in the village knew much about the stranger. He was quiet, mysterious, and rarely seen. His presence had the same effect on his fiancée. The more time she spent with him, the less people seen of her. Usually weddings were a large affair in the village, especially the wedding of New Hollow's founder's heir. But much to the villagers' disappointment, the wedding was held in private. Sadly, a few months later, the founders passed away within weeks of each other, leaving their daughter and her new husband living in the mansion alone. Unfortunately, the new married couple were unable to conceive, and this was a great disaster for the future of the village. It was believed that the daughter then sank into a state of depression and rarely left her home. Rumours have it that she went mad with sadness and frustration and eventually took her own life. Others say her disappearance was something even more sinister. The village was in a horrible state and odd things started to happen. It started with livestock being found dead with strange bite wounds. Then Sims started to disappear. Sometimes one Sim, sometimes whole families. And this is where we find out more about Forgotten Angels. A beautiful young family lived in this lively and busy home. Henry Doll and his wife Mary lived here with their daughter Anna and newborn son James. The house was always busy with family events and most importantly was full of love. One evening, shortly after James was born, a strange man knocked on the door. He looked sickly and begged the family for some shelter and to be fed for the night, promising to leave first thing in the morning. Henry was a kind man and offered the stranger the things that he needed. They got talking at dinner and realised the man, whose name was Jonathan Oakley, was a widower and he had lost everything in a small fire. He'd been doing night patrol jobs for farms and churches across the country, but nothing seemed to last long. The family had a small farm and with the strange attacks happening could use the extra help and asked the man if he was looking for work. They offered him a space to sleep in the basement as it was mostly just used for storage and the family hardly ever went down there. Jonathan moved in straight away and got to work. The rest of the village didn't really know that he was there. He slept all day so he could be awake at night to guard the farm. Sometimes the family even forgot about his presence. Weeks passed and more Sims were going missing. New Hollow was no longer the beautiful village that it started out as. Trees were dying, the land started to wilt, and the air had a cold chill to it that nobody could explain. As the family started to disappear, new Sims began moving in, all very odd and of pale complexion. The Doll family grew concerned and planned to move. The night before the move, the family were all in bed asleep. Jonathan was not. In the past few weeks, he'd been building a strange shrine in the basement where he worshipped a Llama Demon. The Llama Demon gave Jonathan powerful strength and powers, but this was not the only powers that he had. He was a vampire. That night, he took the form of a bat and went into the master bedroom where Henry and Mary were asleep. He put a deep curse on the family to give them eternal sleep. He went round the members of the family and started to take deep drinks of plasma from each. This filled him with strength and connected him to their souls. It was time to begin the ritual. One by one, he ripped the souls from their bodies. First, he started with Henry, trapping his soul in the gargoyle statue that he summoned on top of the house. Then Mary, who was trapped in the statue of a beautiful woman in the bedroom. And then sadly, Anna and James, who were both trapped in the large stuffed animals in their bedrooms. He buried their bodies outside in the garden as a trophy to his accomplishments. By this point, the village was almost empty of mortal Sims and was now run by vampires, with the head vampire residing in the mansion at the top of the hill. For the last 100 years, the village has been forgotten about by mortal Sims. Any Sim who enters never leaves. Jonathan's basement is now his place of worship, where he traps any sim who visits the town. He keeps them there and tortures them to strengthen his bond with the Llama Demon. The souls are offered up in sacrifice, and Jonathan grows stronger with each kill. This is just one of the horrible stories that come from New Hollow, or as it's now known, Forgotten Hollow. So guys, I'm back, and let me know what you thought of that little short story. It isn't anything special. I did just whip it up, and I have to laugh. This is what inspired me for the Llama Demon. I wasn't planning that until I saw that statue, and I was like, do you know what? We are worshipping a Llama Demon. That is what we are doing. Because I had to write that and say that without laughing, because I thought it was like so hilariously funny that he worships a Llama Demon. But how could you not worship that statue? I mean, that is godly, if anything, if not anything else. It's so creepy looking. It's got like these weird little teeth and everything else. But yeah, I'm not really one for spooky and horrible things. Like, I do not like scary movies and things like that, so that was the best I could come up with for something spooky. So I hope you liked it, and as I say, please let me know down below. And yeah, as I said before the video, or before the story rather, if you'd like to see a machinima of the story, let me know about that as well, because I would love to make one, and I'm just learning how to do that. So it'd be really fun to kind of play about with that, especially with this story, as I think it's quite interesting. Or at least I hope it is. But yeah, you can also let me know on Twitter. You can follow me there at Singing Simmer. And obviously this house is no CC as well, and you can get that from the gallery at Singing Simmer 173, and it's just called Forgotten Angels. And look at the wee gravestones. It's so sad that the little kiddies died too. I mean, the parents died too, but I mean, this is the first time I've ever like wrote or any a storyline about kids dying as well. So sad. And I thought as well a little pumpkin patch would be fitting since it's Halloween too. But yeah, as I said, comment, like, subscribe, blah blah blah. And yeah, so hope you enjoyed this video guys, and I hope to see you next time. See you later. Bye!